know what you guys are going to be thinking. If you've been rocking with me since the off season, we made a video like this before, and it was kind of a troll video because the way the New Orleans Saints did this at the time was just kind of in a way to just mess with the entire public. But it seems like this contract extension is very, very real, and I'm going to do my best to explain it to you. So of course, man, we dropped merch on microphone.org. Casual merchandise goes away after Black Friday. We just launched a brand new feature for our members program. For a $1.99 a month subscription, you can see some of my upcoming content early, the documentary content, and of course follow us on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok if you want to tag me in any news for me to make content on. Now that we get all that out of the way, break! Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? The story of Taysom Hill is a very interesting one because I'm going to be honest, this man came out of absolutely nowhere. I mean, the first time I have ever heard of Taysom Hill was during the 2017 NFL season. But you might think, okay, at this point, he must be a young lad that is just joining the NFL. But no, that's not it at all, because this man was an undrafted free agent after the 2017 NFL draft. He was on the Green Bay Packers practice squad for a period of time. He played for BYU from 2012 to 2016, and he entered the NFL in a very Brandon Weeden-esque type of fashion at the ripe age of 27. Now, since then, you may see him enter games periodically for the New Orleans Saints during a time where gadget players were starting to become a thing. I don't know if you remember, but there was a time where teams didn't really know what a player's role on their offense was, so they would call him an OW, which was short for offensive weapon. You guys remember when the Jacksonville Jaguars had Denard Robinson as their running back, but they didn't want to call him a running back because he could play some quarterback, he was playing some receiver, he was doing all kinds of stuff. So they wanted him listed as an offensive weapon, which the NFL said, no, that's not what you can list him as a running back or a wide receiver. So this is where things get really interesting, because we got some breaking news on Taysom Hill. Now, if you remember, about a year ago, Adam Schefter tweeted out that the Saints are restructuring quarterback Taysom Hill's contract to create cap room. The details are great. It's a 4-year, $140 million contract extension, but all years are voidable, and it's a mechanism to free up some cap space this year. Per source, it saves the Saints over $7.5 million against the cap this year. So honestly, I kind of took this as a little bit of a joke at the time that I made this video all the way back in March, because Adam Schefter would continue to say that Taysom Hill's contract numbers this year include a $9.686 million signing bonus, a $1.39 million guaranteed roster bonus, and a $1.034 million guaranteed base salary plus incentives. Now, I apologize, this was ripped from my video back then. I had trouble finding this tweet again, so this isn't actually from 46 minutes ago, it's more from March. But if you want to get an idea of how Taysom Hill's current contract is looking like, this isn't a joke anymore. It's not to troll the universe anymore, because according to Adam Schefter, New Orleans QB Taysom Hill signed a unique 4-year hybrid type of contract extension that could be worth anywhere between $40 million and $95 million, depending on the position he plays, and it includes a $22.5 million guarantee. So wow, and I know what you guys might be thinking, Mike, that means he's only getting paid possibly $10 million a year if you do the advanced calculus all in your head, but it's kind of remarkable that a gadget player is getting this type of contract. I mean, this is a very unique contract, and Adam Schefter continues to say why it's a unique contract, because Taysom Hill's hybrid deal is unique and unlike other contracts because it pays him a $40 million base salary for the role that he's currently playing, and up to an additional $55 million if he does become the Saints starting QB for the next 4 seasons. So to give you an idea of how much Taysom Hill can make, just to make my life a little easier, let's just assume he's making $96 million. So that way we could say that, hey, he is making a nice $19 million a year. To give you an idea, Cam Newton just signed a contract for $10 million a year, and he's about the same age as Taysom Hill, give and take a few years. I know you guys are going to take it to the comment section and say, no, Mike, Cam Newton is 32 and Taysom Hill is 31. Yeah, that's how similar they are in age. Now, look, I want to start this out by saying anytime a player of Taysom Hill's caliber gets the bag, I am automatically going to be happy for him. I mean, I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but if you're an undrafted practice squad player, you are not expected to get to a point where you could potentially make nearly $100 million in one contract. I mean, this isn't even career earnings. Like, this man could easily get over the $100 million point throughout his entire career if he plays his cards right. But it's just so shocking to me, because if you look at Taysom Hill's production this year, and I'm not, you know what, screw his production, okay? Let's just take a look at the percentage of snaps he played this year. Week 1 against the Packers, 35%. Week 2 against the Panthers, 23%. Now, week 3 and 4, he played for 53% and 50% of the offensive snaps. And then week 5, he played for 16% of the offensive snaps. Now, he was injured for 4 weeks following that, but in week 9 and week 10, he played for 22% and 31% of his snaps against the Atlanta Falcons and the Tennessee Titans. Now, I figured this wasn't enough for me. I wanted to see more of Taysom Hill's usage because, dude, this guy's getting paid a ton of money if you think about it. And again, great. I love what he does when he comes on the field. I am really happy for him for getting the bag. But going back to last year, from week 1 to week 5, this man played about 25% of his snaps on the field. Week 6 and 7, he played 14 and 19% of his snaps on the field. Week 8 and 9, he played 26 and 37%. And then, of course, they tried him at the quarterback position from week 10 to week 13, where he played 100% of his snaps. And then, of course, 14 to 16, he played 18%, 32%, and 33%. So this isn't a hate on Taysom Hill. It's just a very interesting allocation of funds. And I know what you guys might be thinking. Hey, Mike, he's only going to earn that money if he becomes the New Orleans Saints full-time starter. But with all due respect, what is the point of developing a 31-year-old gadget player at this point? You know, like, I really am happy for the man for getting the bag. Don't get me wrong. I just fail to see the logic in this point, especially when you're the New Orleans Saints, and it seems like there are other financially viable pathways to getting yourself a quarterback. So again, maybe there's something I'm not seeing. I hope I'm not coming off as hating on Taysom Hill. I just feel like this is such an interesting allocation of funds, and maybe there's something you see that I don't. If you enjoy the content, make sure you leave a like. This is our second upload of the day. We uploaded a documentary on Tom Brady earlier today. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.